These are the final numbers from the 2026 Tamil Nadu election. An 85.1% voter turnout, the highest in the state's history, resulted in a 2-year-old party capturing over 107 seats, shattering the established political order. The man behind this disruption is Thalapathy Vijay. The actor stepped away from a 3-decade film career to challenge a system that had remained virtually locked for 60 years. This victory was driven by a specific set of cultural rules. Tamil Nadu operates on a deep civilizational foundation, where an unbroken literary tradition and a fierce pride in the Tamil language dictate how power is earned and capped. In this state, voting is an assertion of identity. To win, a movement must convince the electorate that it can protect the Tamil civilizational image from external pressure, while managing one of India's most sophisticated welfare states. Since the mid-20th century, the state's dominant political framework has been the Dravidian ideology. It is built on the principles of social justice, the dismantling of caste hierarchies, and a persistent resistance to federal centralization. For 6 decades, this ideological space was controlled exclusively by 2 giants, the DMK and the AIADMK. They passed power back and forth in a closed loop, leaving little room for any third party to survive. But by 2026, the incumbent DMK, led by MK Stalin, faced significant vulnerabilities. Persistent corruption allegations and the perceived entrenchment of a family dynasty created a friction point with voters, who felt the party had become elite and complacent. The traditional alternative, the AIADMK, couldn't fill the void. Hobbled by leadership disputes and the unpopularity of its previous national alliances, the party lost its moral authority with its traditional rural and minority voter base. This left a critical gap in the market. The Tamil electorate demanded their social contract be fulfilled, but both established vendors were now seen as compromised. Tamil political culture has a long history of using cinema as a vehicle for political virtue. This relies on parasocial familiarity, the sense that voters personally know a star because they have accompanied them through decades of on-screen heroics. The template was set by MGR. By playing the righteous protector of the poor on screen, he built an unshakable bond with the working class that translated directly into political dominance for the AIADMK. Vijay spent 30 years mapping his career onto this exact template. His roles as an anti-corruption rebel and a champion of the marginalized served as a subliminal, multi-decade political campaign. When TVK launched, Vijay wasn't building trust from scratch. He was liquidating decades of accumulated emotional capital to bypass the traditional political gatekeepers. But celebrity alone cannot win 107 seats. Turning screen popularity into a legislative majority requires ruthless organizational logistics. Vijay's 85,000 fan clubs were converted into a disciplined army of 70,000 booth agents. This network aggressively targeted 5 to 7 million young voters with education loans and job guarantees. TVK also successfully pulled Dalit and Christian minority voters away from the incumbent DMK's alliances. The victory was an engineered demographic hack. It combined a massive, pre-existing grassroots infrastructure with targeted policy promises to the state's most restless voting blocs. The most immediate consequence of this shift is the continued exclusion of the BJP from Tamil Nadu. The state remains a secular counterweight to the national political model, now under a government committed to radical social justice. Critics may argue this is a victory of manufactured persona over substance, but the reality is more practical. Tamil voters applied a performance audit to their incumbents and found them wanting. Now, TVK faces the reality gap between playing a rebel on screen and actually managing the bureaucracy of a state government. Governing requires a different set of skills than filmmaking or mobilization. The Tamil electorate didn't abandon their long-held Dravidian values in 2026. They simply fired the old management and hired a new hero they hope can finally deliver on the state's promises.